Well, hello everyone. After my last video, I had a few questions, so I thought I would try to answer them today in this video. It's kind of a random and mishmash video of just things that some people had asked or some things I forgot to mention. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about again is the size of my craft space. As you can see, it's not large. And that was actually, part of it was, I had limited space, but the other part was I don't want a big craft space. I want it small. This is my hobby. I don't want it to take over my house. So I did want to keep it rather small. But in doing so, I had to make decisions on storage and where the room will go in the future as I gather more products and expand the space. So my thinking is, let's mosey into the room here. My thinking is I don't want a large craft space. So before I buy something, I really tend to think, do I want it? Do I need it? Am I really going to use it? So that's my initial thinking when I buy something. I don't want to outgrow this room. I don't want it to overflow into my house. So I really try to scale back on what I buy, and I really try to make the most of everything. So in doing so, I started with, let's use as much vertical space as possible in this room. And as you can see, the cabinets go all the way up to the ceiling. They're from IKEA. They are their tallest cabinets. And I don't remember what the measurements were. I don't want to say, maybe 36 inches, but I don't know if that's right. But they are their tallest wall cabinets. So I started with that. That was a big priority on my list, was storage space. So, and actually, if we open up the cabinets, you can see I really don't have them that full. They're not real full. And that's, where I keep some of my stuff. And then over here in this cabinet, actually, there's really not much in there. It looks like it's full, but actually this is probably the least full of all the cabinets. So, I have plenty of space for storage in the future. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, the paper. Somebody asked about how I sort my paper. As you can see, I sort my paper by color. If it's blue, it goes in a blue pile. If it's, green, it goes in the green pile. And I sort it by size, 8.5, 11, or 12 by 12. I don't sort by brand. I don't sort anything. Stamps, inks, anything really by brand. I do it, again, it's a storage factor. I have to, keep that in mind with all my stuff. So, it doesn't matter to me. I don't really care who makes the paper. So if I'm looking for pink paper, I'm just, I grab the stack of pink down there and I go from there. So that's how I store my paper. And I think I did mention it in my last video, but I'll say it again. These are wall mounted, and I got them from my local archivers when they were going out of business. So I have the 12 by 12 on top and then the 8.5 by 11. And as you can see, I also store like my punch boards and my Misties there. And, I store other things that I use more frequently. The other thing somebody asked me was, with this being such a small space, does it get hot or cold in the room? Actually, the answer is no. I don't have air conditioning in my house. So, yeah, it does get warm, but on warm days, I'm probably not crafting anyway. But I do have a mini ceiling fan up there and my light, and both of them are fluorescent. Now, I know fluorescent isn't the best lighting, but it's the best for the space because it doesn't give off heat. So it does keep it cooler in the room, and it really doesn't get that hot in there. I mean, it really doesn't. And if it does get hot, then I just stop crafting. But right outside the room here, I have a window, so I can always open the window. And then I also have that little two-way mirror too that I can open, and it does let in some more air. So, Now let's kind of go back into the room, and I wanted to show a few other things that somebody was asking. Somebody asked how I store my scrap paper. Now, as you can see, I'm in the seated position right now, and right above me here is my cabinet. So, if I open up the cabinet here, I have these, I don't know, are they magazine holders, I guess? And as you can see, they are labeled solid and print scraps. And basically what I have here is I just store all my scraps in there. I've never had it full. I'm actually pretty good about using my scraps. So, generally I tend to go into my scraps first before I do anything. I'm not a big pattern paper person, so my solid colored scraps get used the most, as you can see. Another tip that I do have about scraps, if you say had punched something out of here, like a circle, let me show you. If I had punched a circle out of here, I then cut it. I cut that little bit off, so that little jagged edge doesn't get tangled up in all the other papers in here. So that's, I find that to be quite handy in keeping everything, you know, so it doesn't get tangled, because I used to not do that, and everything was getting tangled and wrapped around each other and everything. So I found that just by cutting off that little bit of paper really does save the paper. So that was something I wanted to mention. And then also, again, back to saving space and everything. As you can see, here's the Alex drawers by IKEA. And there's a gap between the countertop here and the top of the cabinet. And what I store in there is my paper trimmer. And on the other side, I don't know if you can see it, is my scoreboard. And, you know, again, it's all about saving space for me. So I have, you know, really tried to maximize the space that I have in here by using the wall space with my paper. I've put some shelves up underneath the cabinets that hold stuff. So if I can mount it to the wall, I really try to mount it to the wall. I keep my ATG gun mounted up off the wall. My markers and brushes and everything are up off the wall. Another thing that I found really handy is this tool caddy. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And that's another thing too. Everything in this room, pretty much for the most part, I've bought at Hobby Lobby or Michael's with a 40% off or sometimes even 50% off coupon. That really, really saves a lot of money. And I'm very fortunate that I have a Hobby Lobby and a Michael's just a few miles from my house. So sometimes when I'm driving by, I will just run in there and buy one thing with my 40% off coupon. I sometimes drag my husband along. I've dragged my mother along and make them all use a 40% off coupon, and I get things, you know, obviously much cheaper. That's actually another hint that I wanted to give you. My mom likes to Copic color, and I'm not a very good Copic color, so I'm not into it, but she likes to do it, and she's very good at it. And that's how we've built up her stash of Copics, is we drive by Hobby Lobby, and we just go in there, and we each buy one Copic marker for 40% off. It's the best deal I found, better than, you know, even online sales, excuse me, online sales, or anything like that. So, you know, use those 40% off coupons. They really do come in handy. And like I said, everything that I can purchase with a 40 or 50% off coupon, I have done it. So this again is my tool caddy from Hobby Lobby, filled with my tools that were all purchased with 40 and 50% off coupons. I have everything labeled here. Here's some of my like more liquid adhesives. And then it has real nice, has little drawers down here at the bottom, and you can put other things. My scissors, excuse me, my Bow Easy. If anybody wants a tutorial on that, let me know. I think this is a fantastic product to make bows. It's just a little piece of plastic. It works wonders. I have some writing on it, and I can explain that. But I think I paid $5, $6 for it, and it works phenomenal. And I know that there's some other bow making products out there that are quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Use up a lot of space, I guess. And this it's just flat like a credit card, a little bigger than a credit card. And it's phenomenal at making bows. It makes several different sizes. So if anybody wants a tutorial on that, let me know. And that's my little craft caddy. And moving along, I also wanted to talk about my die storage. Now, I keep my dies, I store them 2 different ways. And this is, I think it's from Crafter's Companion. And it's like a case that opens up here on the side. And then it has magnets on the inside. And then you buy these magnetic pages and you can store then your dies in there. Now, initially, I have 2 of these cases, and initially it worked out well. I'm getting more dies, and I'm finding it's not working as well. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just, I don't know. It's not quite right for me. So I'm still looking for new alternatives. But in the meantime, it does work. I keep a label here on the front. You can see it. And since I have 2, so I like to refer back to this so I know what's in each container. So that works. However, if I do have a stamp, let me bring this in. If I have a stamp and a die set, I store my stamps in DVD cases, and then if there's a die that matches it, I store the die in with the stamp. So like here, that is the Lawn Fawn. I think it's what, Happy Trails, and then I have the little dies just floating around in the case right there. So that's how I store dies that have matching stamps. Now, also I wanted to show, this is pre-Misty. I had purchased some stamps and I unmounted them, and this is how I mounted them on the Easy Foam. So I like to put the image on the Easy Foam before I mount it. So then this way, when I put it in there and I close everything up, I can actually see the image on the outside of the DVD case. So just wanted to toss that out there too. And then one last thing I wanted to talk about was, as I spin around here in my chair, my ribbon holder. Again, like I said, I use my wall space, my vertical space for everything, and this is my ribbon holder. My husband actually made it for me, and it actually comes in quite handy because it's right behind me, and these little pegs over here on the side pull out, and then you slip the spool on from this side. I don't want to pull it out because all my spools are going to fall, but yeah, and then the whole thing, if you can see it here, it just, he made it so I can just pick it up off the wall if I need to. If you can see the little bracket right there, it's just a screw. It's a Phillips head screw, and it comes right off the wall, so if I ever needed to take it into another room or something, I can. So that's my storage for the ribbon, and I did put my washi tape on there. But that's about it for this video. Again, thank you. Thank you for listening to me and watching my video today. Just another quick peek at my stamps and my punches. And thank you again, and have a good day.